Hi everybody, Max Scoville here for IGN. With me, Jose Otero.
What's going on, Max?
What are we playing right now?
We are playing Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Yes, it's a third-person action game shooter from Nintendo. Comes out May 29th in North America. I think May 28th, Japan and Australia. And we're gonna jump into single-player mode to start.
Cool. We've got a kind of a tight schedule here. We can only stream for an hour. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So pay attention, kids, because you're about to learn a lot about squids.
That's right. All right. So let's jump into the third area. So this is the hub world for This is Octo Valley, and this is where the single player happens. You can actually just shoot whenever you feel like it. And there's as you can see, we're just spreading our color everywhere.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna jump into this level to kick us off. So this is Rise of the Octocoppers.
Okay. Now, if you guys are watching at home and you have any questions or stuff you want to see, there's only a certain amount we can show you. But if you have questions or requests or cool squid trivia, let us know. Just hop on Twitter and use the hashtag IGNPlaysLive, and we will keep an eye out for it.
Yep. So right now we're just going through single player, and you can actually mess around with these guys a lot. Like you saw, he saw me in Metal Gear fashion, and that X just means I can hit him from here. So when I pop up, he's gone. So you can have a lot of fun with sort of taunting the enemies, which is something that I don't think folks pick up on that often. Or I especially love when games let me do that, right? Like I love Metal Gear Solid 3 is a great example of that. There's a couple Mario games, 3D Mario games, where that's kind of fun too. And we can actually make his life miserable.
I'm kind of surprised because you do have yellow ink.
Yep.
I was under the impression that there was no yellow ink because it would look too much like pee.
Yeah, we were talking before, and there's no browns or reds to be anywhere, to be seen anywhere. But no, the colors, like I've seen a lot of blues and greens and purples. But you're right. So check us out.
That's how the internet works. I think.
We're in a tube. This is how the
just a inky cartoon teenager goes through the tube by turning into liquids
and leaves a comment. So let's take care of this guy. And here, I think so each level plays with a theme, right? So this one is basically just jumping on hey, using squid form to move around. So this is a special. This is our Ink Zuka. Check that out.
Ooh.
Just fire the tornado.
This is like the most 90s game I've seen in a very long time.
Okay, define 90s game.
Okay, so you've got this is like Nickelodeon, this is like Gushers, this is Super Soakers. This is all the colors are straight out of everything from my childhood.
Okay.
And I'm into it. I mean, it feels like a Nickelodeon game show or a Nicktoon. Like you're just this slimy little guys. There's a lot of slime.
Oh yeah, slime absolutely. Yeah, and as you can. Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
A little bit bummed it's ink. I think slime is a much cooler. It's just it's semantics really, but.
Well, and it still leaves that's really cool, right? Like almost every splat is slightly different, and you can kind of play around with the physics of the world. And I like that. And obviously, you see me dipping into my ink. That's a big part of the way ammo in this game works.
Yeah, that's how you recharge your reservoir.
Yes. So you see the tank on my back. That shows me how much ink I have. If you haven't been following this game, and you just kind of, oh, okay. And once he can't find me, watch his behavior. He's just gonna, go back. This has got to be purple.
Now, does the tank on your back, is that the only kind of on-screen indication of how full it is, aside from when you go under?
Yes, that's correct.
So it's kind of like a Dead Space thing. You kind of have to keep track of it.
Absolutely, yeah. Okay. No, that was a really cool thing, I thought, in Dead Space. I'm glad that they are leaning on that. And there's no ammo meter in sight except for when you dip into the ground as a squid. And you move faster when you're a squid, but you can't shoot. So you have to kind of deal with the trade-off. That's sort of what both the multiplayer and single player are going for. Oh, this guy throws a bomb, and that hurts. Let's move up, get rid of him. Oh, we got a special now. We're going to keep it, though. So in the campaign, you are trying to recover the Great Zapfish, which, if you've played a Mario game, is sort of like the equivalent of trying to get the stars in Mario, essentially. The Great Zapfish has been stolen, and you're sort of recovering these smaller pieces until you find the big one.
Okay. This isn't so heavily a single-player game, though, right? Or is
it's 28 stages.
Okay.
I love the last encounter. It's probably one of my favorite things I've played, but I can't say much about it because we can't talk about anything past World 3. All right. I am gonna jump to some of the later levels, try and show off a little of when things really get cool. So let's jump into this sponge garden.
Floating sponge garden. See, there you go. You got a little SpongeBob in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not really 90s, but that's kind of a Nickelodeon jam. So.
Yep, absolutely. All right, and this time we got blue ink. Check that out. And we're off. So shoot the sponge, it gets bigger.
I don't like the blue ink as much as the yellow ink.
No?
The yellow ink looked like pea or cheese, so I was kind of into that. But
okay.
I mean, blue ink, like that's what you can fill out government forms with. That's an adult ink.
Yep.
It's a very boring ink color.
Right, here you
Purple's
go.
okay. Teachers would get mad if you use that on a quiz.
You have experience?
Yeah. I used to be a TA.
Oh man, tell those stories.
My English teacher, I would grade vocab tests or vocab quizzes, and he would get mad at me. He wouldn't get mad at me, but he'd tell me like to not be such a hard ass about scolding kids for using wrong colored inks.
Okay,
you're undermining my red pen.
I had teachers who would totally do that. I actually had some experience in education too, dude. I taught math for a while. Oh, watch out for these guys. So the enemies you're fighting are the Octarians, just to give people some context to what's going on here.
Octogenarians.
Yeah, the Octogenarians.
The old people trying to stop the teen squids from having fun.
Probably, right? So we're gonna jump up here. Some surfaces can't be inked for unexplained reasons, but I think I don't know. It's not too much of a bummer. But if an enemy does shoot these, when an enemy shoots these sponges, it does sort of take the color off of them. So I got to be really careful.
So they'll start shrinking again.
Yeah, and that guy just gave me power egg. So these power eggs are important because in single player you can level up the equipment here, so it fires faster. I should have popped that balloon, but I took off. Alright, and one of the things I definitely enjoyed doing is taunting the enemies here. Like, look at him. Poor guy's struggling. And there's just a lot of personality, as Nintendo games are known to do, right? Like a lot of the enemies. So let's let that shrink a little bit.
We got a question here from Ryan Roberts. Roberts on Twitter. He says, can you play with pointer controls?
No, this game does not support the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. It does use the Wii U Pro Controller or the other Pro Controllers that have been out on the market. Although the gamepad uses motion, and I guess that's kind of a weird trade-off, right? Like, why not have that then? But for whatever reason, they didn't. I don't think they've elaborated too much on why.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, maybe speculate that it would just be less accessible for menus or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
That's odd. Yeah.
Yeah. Gamepad though is a really good controller for this game, just because in multiplayer you can sort of look down and get immediate like, okay, how are we doing? And you'll see when we get to that point.
Map on there.
Yep. And we could also paint the trees.
Yeah. Why don't you flip that around and just show
yeah,
that to
sure. So this is the single player map you're seeing. Sorry about the camera. I do play with motion on, and James is going to come in and show it to you. So this is a single player map in the game. So you're just getting a quick look on the gamepad of what that's like. In multiplayer, the gamepad's super important because you're going to be able to see on there, okay, how are we doing? You can also tap on a friendly soldier and jump over to help in that area.
That's cool.
Granted, as long as that person doesn't get splat. If they do, it's okay, you'll still land, but you're probably in trouble territory. So I'm going to pull back, James. All right, cool. And we're back. And I'm going to paint the tree too, because I can.
Now, friendly reminder, if you guys have questions, just hop on Twitter, use the hashtag IGNPlaysLive, and we'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, these poor guys are sitting ducks. Imagine you're an enemy on that sponge. How much trouble are you in?
Those guys with the helicopter hats look pretty miserable, actually.
Yeah, they do. Hopefully I can hit one of them. Hey, got him. Oh, just a little over. All right, we're pretty much done here. And we're going to move over to one of the later levels, which is built around sliding platforms. It's actually one of my favorites. And what I can say is that campaign, this is not a throwaway campaign. Like, I really enjoy that. Just like a Mario game, there's a lot of variety. Like, they pick a theme for the stage, they stick to it, they develop it, the challenge ramps up as you go. And I really, really enjoy when Nintendo kind of does that. So I'm going to jump around a little bit to try and find the level I'm looking for. Nope, it's not that one.
And now I think one question: how easy is it to pick it up? Like how do you find the controls in terms of kind of getting used to them?
Well, it depends definitely on your preference, right? Like I've played with motion on. I do strongly feel that the game is sort of built around that in mind, but you can switch them off. It controls like any third-person shooter. If not, okay, so we're gonna go here, shifting classes, platforms. It controls like any third-person shooter. If not, you just have to be conscious of how much ink do I have and kind of keeping your part of your awareness on that meter on your back. So when I first played this game at E3, I made the mistake of shoot, and then noticing after the fact, oh man, I'm out of ink, and you have to like kind of stop your action. So if you notice while I'm playing, I'm doing a lot of dipping and going through. So this entire stage, talking a little bit about what I was saying earlier, this is the theme is sliding platforms, and so we're going to be sliding through things like this a lot to deal with enemies.
That's some fun little platforming there.
Yeah. No, they definitely they developed this idea pretty well. This is one of my favorites.
The ink is really, really gorgeous.
Oh yeah, no,
a
lot of thought went into it. You can tell, and just like you're kind of in single player, you don't have to paint everything, but you almost want to.
Yeah.
Right. Like it's pretty cool.
This is I really like how it's not super slime. Like they don't have like a slime effect on it. It's kind of like there's definitely some gradient there, but it's really kind of flat. It's like painting.
Well,
it's like actual ink. Like
no, for sure. I'm gonna sneak over here.
A little bit of texture. Oh,
yep.
Got him.
Yeah,
so this reminds me a lot of the ink stuff in Portal 2.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. I've definitely heard. I've heard folks sort of echo that, and I think definitely to some degree it is like that. Oh, so I like this stage a lot because it's busy, right? Like you have to be aware of where the platforms are going, and then dip in, get under. Sam Claiborne walked by my desk and was like, "Wow, this actually looks challenging," and I'm like, "Yeah, this is not a throwaway campaign. Like I'm really, really impressed by it. It's short, but it's still sort of short and sweet. Doesn't take too long to get it out of your way, and sadly, though, one of the only ways to get replay value out of it really is through Amiibo, or if you're searching for the collectible that's hidden in it. But yeah, I can't say what that's used for, but every stage does have something in it. I think they're called sea scrolls, and so you kind of want to be aware and be on the prowl for those because they do have a purpose, like any collectible in any game. And that was a bad idea. Let's paint. Oof.
Now we have some of the Amiibo here. Are we allowed to talk about these guys?
Yeah, absolutely. Show it.
Yeah, we've got these little guys. We've got Let's see if I can remember their names.
Oh, let's do it.
There's Squid Girl, Squid Boy.
Okay.
And then this is just like a squid. Is that
Inkling Squid?
Inkling
I think.
Squid.
Yeah.
Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl. Yeah.
And Inkling Squid.
Yeah, they're just there's teen squids.
Yeah. So through Amiibo, you're able to play through campaign levels with an additional challenge on, and you can unlock currency that you use for. This is gonna be bad. Oh, I missed it. So that's what death looks like in Splatoon. You got to see it. So we're back at this checkpoint. But so earlier, I didn't even notice this, but watch. There's sort of like an overhang over there. When I ink it, you actually see like the ink like dripping from it. I thought you'd appreciate that. Being an art guy. You are an art guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you and Brian. I think that's why we all get along so well. We're all like super visual people. You see that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is. I've definitely spent my fair share of time with actual paint, so this is like. I played a very boring, gritty, realistic adult version of this game in my downstairs bathroom where I painted it. That was really it.
Oh no, did I mess up? No, I got through this time. Whoa, that was almost a mistake. Yeah, I was gonna get greedy and get these balloons. I might as well. And there's also 2 more over here. Yeah, I also like sort of the Mario Galaxy feel of it all, where you jump on these launch platforms are basically like launch stars.
It's just one of those things that just feels good.
Oh yeah, no, that too. Oh, that guy's not gonna back off. Ooh. There we go. Yeah, so you're gonna look at Splatoon single player. We're gonna be playing this for a little longer before we switch over to some of the other areas of the game, and I just got wrecked, so I gotta be careful.
Let's see. ACX7 on Twitter says, "Can you use the Pro Controller in multiplayer, or is it just the gamepad?"
It is. So in 1 versus 1 multiplayer, you can use the Wii U Pro Controller. In single player, it is just gamepad, and in multiplayer online, it is just gamepad.
Really?
You cannot switch. I will say though, this is one of the few times that using the gamepad kind of makes sense a lot because of being able to see the map at all times in multiplayer, which is critical, right? You need to see the zones that have to be recaptured, and having that quick feedback on the screen, like right at your fingertips,
you're not
is
missing
really
any
useful.
objectives.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is about controlling territory, and when we get to multiplayer later, you can see that.
I'm gonna say it. Those things you're collecting look like Dragon Balls. You could make so many wishes based on how many you've picked up so far.
For sure.
Zachary Reese says, "Can 2 people play online with the same console?"
They cannot. It's 1v1 or 1v everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess that's the way to put it.
All
so
right.
we're going to jump out of here. Oh, last thing I want to show you guys real quick is that you can upgrade gear with the sort of power eggs that you collect. So right now, for example, my hero shot's due for an upgrade. at 1,000.
Oh wow! So these power eggs are straight up roe. They are fish eggs.
Yeah. So we're gonna power it up, and now watch how fast this thing shoots. You see that?
Nice.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. So if you are replaying single player, you can get that. I will spend a quick minute to show you guys how Amiibo ties into single player. We're going to jump back to Inkopolis. This is the hub area. So you're going to look at...
Yeah, Chris Pengoli says, are the Amiibo meaningful in this IGN Plays Live?
I feel that this is one of the few times I actually like what they're doing with Amiibo. I've been kind of difficult to impress a little bit with Amiibo, outside of Smash Brothers, which I thought was sort of an original idea. So let's grab Boy. So we're going to scan him in. Oh, sorry. Hold that up. There we go.
Hello.
See him appear in the game. And he is going to have challenges. Sup, playa.
Wow. That's definitely 90s.
Yeah. Thanks for calling me up. He also says, what's cracking?
Boy.
Yeah. Heard you've been making waves around the city.
No diggity.
And I've got an inkling that you're the type of inkling who's up for a challenge. Want to give one of my roller challenges a go. So the boy amiibo are all roller challenges. The girl has all splat charger challenges. That's like the sniper. And the inkling squid is time-based challenges.
Okay.
And they unlock gear for multiplayer, and you can also unlock one set of gear for multiplayer, and you also unlock a game you can play on your gamepad while waiting for matchmaking.
Okay. So, now, correct me if I'm wrong. These are sold in the three of them are sold in a 3-pack.
Yes, that's the only way to get the inkling squid.
That's right.
Yeah.
So this is the one that's kind of the maybe not hard to find, but you guys want to take a closer look at these?
Yeah, yeah.
Let me show you them.
All right, Mac's gonna hold those up while I just jump in.
I really like these guys. I really like these designs. They're super cute. Bunch of friends of mine actually just cosplayed at Fanime as the Splatoon platoon.
Oh yeah.
And here's the roll. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rolling
along. Yeah, I love the roller. It's a cool weapon. So this stage is built around invisible platforms. Whoa, that is an Octarian that I'm fighting with over there. Let's get rid of these guys. So we were talking earlier before the stream, and the splat roller is kind of like the shotgun of this game to an extent. But you see, I'm uncovering the walls. Now, this is much easier to do with your hero shot. When you have to do it with the splat roller, you have to be really careful, and especially when you're fighting one of those guys, the Octarians. So I'm going to try and get over there and handle... Oh, that did not work out. Needed to go a little faster.
Let's see.
All right, watch this. This is one of my favorites. You splat that, and...
Is that a pufferfish?
It turned into one.
So one thing I think is actually worth pointing out is that this is a Japanese game. Yeah?
Yes, yeah.
In Japan, it is considered a lot less weird, I think, to eat squid and fish eggs and stuff like that. Like that's more common in their cuisine.
For sure.
So I think it's kind of funny that like I think over here we're like, man, like squids are a weird, like octopi and squids are like a weird thing to eat or to have. They're just kind of an oddity. But over there it's like, I mean, it's less weird to be like, oh, you're picking up fish eggs.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, no. And they build everything around that theme, right? Of fish, because you're seeing squids, you're seeing octopus type enemies, you're seeing other stuff as you go. Oh man, this guy. Yeah, but you see how the roller brush is really changing the way I approach a level. Like, I should have probably played this one and then shown the amiibo challenge for it. Oh, that's the Octo stamp. Isn't that adorable?
Oh, that's... Oh, hello. Hello, Nintendo enemy.
And goodbye. All right, let's go up here. Oh, man. Okay, this is going to get weird. Can I splash it up there? Oh, all right. I got him a little bit. Okay, so I have room to work with. I also have a grenade, which he ran from, but it killed him, so that's good. And we could also just run into them. Ooh, that almost got me. All right, so let's back out of this, and let's head over to Inkopolis. Let's take a quick tour. Show you Booyah Base, which is sort of the shopping area. Dang, you quit. Well, rest up or whatever.
Wow.
Right. Yep.
Dang, yo.
Dang, yo. Yep, he said that. All right, so this is Inkopolis. The Miis that you're seeing were all pulled from online, people who are playing this build of the game.
Who do we got here? We got. I love that when playing with kind of a reviewer type crowd, you can frequently guess who people are.
Oh yeah,
like
for sure.
Is Chris over there? That's probably Chris from Wired.
Nothing to say.
Yeah.
Let's
Where's
see.
Jonathan Holmes? Jonathan Holmes is.
We saw him earlier.
Amanda?
Not sure. Maybe this is him. Nope.
Watch out.
Pamela. Oh, there
we
he
go.
is.
There's Jonathan Holmes
There he
with a nice Willem Dafoe scary fan art.
Now, when these Miis sort of showed up, oh, look at that hat. Isn't that hat awesome?
This
It's
is
got like an 8-bit sprite on it.
This has really good art direction.
Mhm.
Like I'm super down with this.
I love
very
the
fashionable.
how do you call those again? The sort of the tentacle part, cephalopods, whatever. But you'll see here's the sort of the gear he's wearing. Now, if I like this gear, I can actually order it through a vendor in the game. I can say, okay, well, that shirt is pretty cool. It's got for example, that perk right there, in the top window is, I believe, to refuel your ink quicker. And then he's got a defensive buff on it as well.
Okay.
And then there's a mystery buff. So the second tier, the second window below, the question marks, those pop in at random. The one above is a primary. So you'll know what you're buying primary-wise. So I'm going to buy this one. I'm going to order it. You have to pay for it a day later. It'll show up. So now game saved. That character is going to run off and get that for you. So we're actually going to go. You can check your open orders.
It's kind of a weird system.
Yeah, and that character, actually, you're looking straight at him if you look down this alley. They tell you to be careful going through here because it smells fishy. Yes, the game says that. A lot of fish puns. This is Spike, and Spike is where you will check in. But Spike is also where you can re-roll gear. So let's say, for example, you don't like the perks that you ended up with randomly. You can trade in one of those items that's around him, which, look at the eyes. Doesn't that remind you of a little Mario mushroom? Like inside of that shell.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm forgetting the name of it exactly, but it was pointed out on Nintendo Direct.
So I love that this is
so Japan.
This is so Jet Grind Radio too.
That too, yes.
Like
I agree.
these vending machines. This is something I didn't actually fully grasp until I went to Japan. That's exactly what they look like.
Yeah, they dance in the streets.
You play like not that, but that's not what. Yeah, but you look at. I don't know, you look at like an Activision game and there's like a Coke machine and you're like, oh, I know what a Coke machine looks like. That's what they look like here.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, that's what soda machines look like.
Yep. All right, so let's head over. Oh, and you can play, well, no, let's see it. Let's go to the first shop. Let's go to Shrimp Kicks. That's where you buy your shoes.
Man.
Mm-hmm. Really cool world. Don't forget, you can tweet questions at us
Krusty
at IGN
Sean.
Plays Live.
Yeah.
Hashtag IGN Plays Live. So this is Krusty Sean. Notice the outfit.
Yeah.
You're digging that.
That's a deep fried shrimp. It's
one step away from
that is a
tempura.
panko crusted sweater there.
Yep. So you can see everything costs coin. We got to buy.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Pablo Perez says, Splatoon makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. How does it make you guys feel? It makes me feel kind of neon green and slimy on the outside, which is how it... It's not a very warm and fuzzy game. It's definitely cute, but like it's kind of clammy. I mean, are there clams in here?
Probably. The berry ski jacket, but I don't have enough for this. So all the gear you're seeing here is for multiplayer. None of it carries into single player, sadly, and these perks all apply to multiplayer. If you're not sure what a perk does, they have an ability guide on the gamepad. James, I'm going to hold that up to the camera so people can see it. So down here, you'll see on the screen, I'm actually going to stand for this. You'll see that's the gear I'm wearing, and if I hit this ability guide right here, right there, okay, and you can sort of take a look at all the abilities and just tap around to get a different sort of definition of what that ability does. Yep. So that's really helpful. If you're trying to pick gear and you're not sure what it does, you have it right there. Cool. All right, I'm going to back off, James.
Cool. Now we've got another area to check out, the test facility.
Okay, cool. Yeah, test facility is a good place people should spend some time in. And I actually didn't show you all the vendors, but we're going to jump ahead. So any gear you've purchased, you're able to switch in and out. So you see I've gotten some headgear, some clothes, some shoes, just really quickly. Oh, that's kind of cute.
What is that?
Yeah.
Is that a hat?
Yeah, hair clip.
Aw.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
with the
cute.
Splatoon. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And you'll see how many perks that gear has. So we have this mask. It has 3 slots, so it's probably the strongest mask we should be wearing. And there are other slots. So let's go down to clothes. This is what we bought. And then lastly, this is the one that you really came to see. This is weapons. So let's start with the splat roller, shall we? So see at the bottom right, you got test. So we're going to jump over to there. This is the equipment we're going to take in. So we'll go, yeah.
Test or nah?
Yeah. So let's jump in, and you'll see this is just an open area for you to sort of play around. This is the splat roller, which if you've been keeping up with this game, you know by now what it does. You just lay down a lane of paint. this is really cool because in Turf Wars, this is useful because in Turf Wars, you are claiming territory. That's what it's all about. And so you really want to get a feel for how much ink a weapon uses and then be able to sort of refuel it quickly. And also you get to see the nerdier aspect, the damage output. So I'm going to just go up here in the test facility. And when you look up here, you see all of these dummies you can shoot at. But notice the difference on this one, and these two. So this would be a normal enemy with no defensive buff. This would be an enemy with 1 defensive buff, 2 defensive buffs, and 3. Now, obviously, with the splat roller at close range, they die really fast. But
yeah, why don't you show?
Further
Can you
away,
swap out a different weapon here? Or?
Yes, let's do that. So we're gonna pull up the 52 gallon, and you'll see just sort of how many shots it will take to take one of them out, and how much damage it will actually put up. So this is the 52 gallon. This gun specifically, it's a slower rate of fire, but it covers a wider area. It packs a pretty mean punch, is how it works. And so we could, for example, just ink the walls.
So I got a question.
Go for it.
Did you go through? Are you writing graffiti? Are you writing? What are you writing?
Perhaps I was writing IGN, but it didn't fit.
Oh, yeah.
Keep going.
Were you into Super Soakers at all? Or were you too old?
Oh
for
yeah,
that?
no, of course, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Because like
Yeah.
I love that was one of my favorite parts of like my childhood was just like the different like every year they'd come out with a new line of Super Soakers and they got increasingly ridiculous to the point where it's like they were like, here's a backpack with like a shotgun attachment and here's this
Yes. But Super Soakers, at least the ones I messed around with, there were a lot of cheap knockoffs, so you had to be really careful you didn't get taken by something that wasn't very
had
good.
to go with the legit ones because actually like those were sturdy. You could,
yeah, but some stores like you almost couldn't tell because the packaging was pretty close. At least I couldn't in the Bronx. So I'm just gonna mess around here. This is the Splat Charger. So at any time too at the test facility, you just press a button on the gamepad that says reset, and you could basically
cool.
start
Okay,
from
that's
scratch.
good.
So
nobody else is gonna paint it over.
Exactly. So Splat Charger, and you'll see here I move slower when I'm aiming with this weapon. So you have to kind of pick your battles with this thing. And if you look, when you fire, there is a lane of paint that your friends could just jump into, or other people on your team. So you still could cover a long surface area. You could also just start shooting, but you notice it's not as strong and it doesn't fly as far if I tap the fire button.
Well, it's such a cool mechanic because like there's not. I mean, I guess the making a lane of paint that your friends can go down is sort of like almost putting up shields for them to like it's just a straight shot that they can go through that. Like
yeah, absolutely. And
there's not really any kind of like analog for that in other kind of more conventional shooters.
Yeah, in another game. No, I agree. And territory plays an important part because if you're standing in rival ink, you move much slower. When you're on your own ink, you'll see here, you can just swim through it quickly. And this ends up being a really important part of how the game plays because you'll pop, dip in some cases, or just sneak up on people. One thing I do want to show before we get out of the test facility is a really cool special. So this is a splat roller, which you saw earlier. But we're going to activate the special, which is the Kraken. If you see here,
oh wow,
this guy's nasty, and he will basically splat anything, kill anything that you jump if you jump at him with that on. So it's not enough to just roll up to them; you have to jump towards them. But you're pretty much invincible, and you leave some nice ink trails behind you.
Cool.
Right.
Got a couple questions.
Cool.
L. Lambert Lawson says, think there's enough in the multiplayer component at launch to keep people happy until the August DLC.
Well, there's going to be DLC between launch and August. They haven't, at least in North America, I haven't seen them be very clear about the schedule. But Turf Wars is really, really fun, I have to say. And we're going to jump into it a little bit further into the stream to show people. Cool. So I would say it really depends on if Turf Wars on day one is enough, and then Splat Zones is enough. So Splat Zones is a little different than Turf Wars, where you're controlling one area instead of the whole map. So you want to kind of be conscious of sort of that area alone. It doesn't really matter if you paint everything. It's controlling the one zone. Okay. So I'm going to finish the tour of the shops, and then we're going to jump into what do you want to see next, actually?
Let's try to hop into some multiplayer.
Okay, cool. So this is Jalonzo.
Jalonzo?
Yeah, and he speaks with an accent.
Get out of here.
Yeah. This is at
Taco
Cooler
Roca.
Heads, and her fish has things to say. It's also, oh wow, we've got glasses. And you can try anything on, by the way. I wasn't doing that earlier. But you can sort of switch it in, see how you like it, make decisions. This weapon's really cool, but we can't use it yet. We can also try it if we want by jumping into test, I believe, just to see if we like how well it inks. All right, so let's head over to multiplayer. I'm going to head over to the lobby.
And I'm getting a little bit of like Parappa the Rappa from this too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it was that kind of. It's interesting because it's got a lot of kind of like American '90s stuff going on, but there's also a ton of like Harajuku like street fashion stuff that was. I'm guessing it's probably come full circle at this point in Japan.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So we're jumping into multiplayer. Hopefully, so there are reviewers and other people Nintendo is giving access to sort of playing this game, and you'll see them sort of populate in. There is people at higher levels do have a slight advantage because they have access to better gear.
Sure.
But I will say at the lower levels, I did notice I was causing a lot of chaos. It's just a matter of sort of learning the weapon you're using. So right now, for example, we're going with the splatter shot. James, you might want to cut back to us just while we wait for this to populate, only because we're not sure who's online right now, but hopefully we can get into some games and show that to you.
Okay.
In the meantime, well, you held this up already. You showed the folks.
Did we show
this is
the
packaging
box version? This is just the packaging. This is, I mean, you actually kind of saw it when you scanned in the amiibo. The out of the box one. But like, I love this is very. This is like not like. I mean, you get the bottom half is very familiar Nintendo packaging, but the top is like that's not really Nintendo-y. You know, it's kind of a big leap away from what their general graphics have looked like in their packaging lately. You know, they were very kind of like here's some teal, here's some white, here's some some gray.
That's the back for you, so you can check it out. Just shows what it's good for. But you're right. In terms of like color and design, there is definitely a 90s vibe. The co-directors on this game are pretty young dudes from Miyamoto's team, is my understanding. One of them worked on Nintendo Land, and we're starting to fill up now, so that's good.
All right.
We need 2 more people.
Hey, it's Alexa.
Hey, cool.
How's it going, Alexa?
Hello. Oh, and while you're waiting for matchmaking, if you played during the Global Test Fire, you already know about this, but there's actually a mini game on the gamepad itself. I can hold this up, James, and just show it. So this is called Squid Jump, and we've got a game, so we're going to show this to you later. It's battle time. So there's 2 stages available for every 4 hours, I believe is the schedule, and then they rotate them out. This is Walleye Warehouse. And the teams are switched and picked at random, so you don't really control in Turf Wars who you're working with. So I haven't played in a while, so I might be a little rusty. I'm making excuses already, just in case. But you do want to be conscious of sort of painting turf.
So here's a question. Mark Webster says, outside of Turf Wars, is there an online multiplayer mode in which your team's kill count determines the winners?
No. Oh, I think we're lagging. Someone's got a bad connection. Hopefully it's not us. But you see that I'm painting and nothing's... This is weird.
Ooh.
Yeah, during the review, I haven't run into many of these unless it was a connection issue. So clearly that's happening.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, we're in trouble.
Headshot.
And we dropped.
No. Okay, that's a bummer.
Okay, that is a bummer. Hopefully we can figure that out and get that rolling. Let's try again. Man, we missed out on playing with Alexa. Oh, this is Judd the cat. He is the judge.
I saw somebody doing a Judd Dredd bit of art there.
Yes, yeah, earlier.
That's a cute cat.
Yep. And if you go on a streak while winning, you can bring that back to him and he'll give you some stuff for it. So I think that's Alexa again. We can check out what gear she's wearing. And again, you sort of order it. So level 9. All right, so let's jump back in, see if we can get lucky. Yeah.
Let's see. Here's a question. Thomas Rogers says, 2 questions. How long is the campaign, and when does the review embargo lift?
The review goes up tomorrow at 7 a.m. On IGN. You can read it, and on a bunch of websites. In terms of the campaign, I'd say it's like, it's hard to say. I'd say it's like 5 hours, maybe a little less, 6 hours. Didn't really time it, but felt very satisfied when it was over. Especially, like, I really enjoyed the last encounter. I thought it was very smart. It's really conscious of everything you learned. It's not one of those final encounters where you reach the end of the game and you're like, man, this is a bummer. I didn't know to do that, or this feels, you feel kind of cheated because there's a new mechanic you never got taught before. No, I really enjoyed it. The campaign was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'd say like 5-6 hours, maybe a little less.
Okay. Let's see. Duggan says, do you think this should be a day 1 buy? Is there voice chat supported at all? That's 2 questions.
Yeah.
It's too many questions.
Interesting if you haven't heard, Duggan, but this game does not have voice chat. It's been actually a pretty contentious argument between fans. Some saying, they don't want to play with strangers and talk to them, but on the other side, you have people who want to play with their friends. And any shooter, any game online, where you're connected with friends is more fun when you can talk to them, right? So you kind of have to draw that line and answer, is that good for you or not? Of course, you have alternatives. You could Google Hangouts and all that, but is that really a solution?
Yeah, I mean, I can
Really
definitely
depends for
see
you.
where Nintendo's coming from with this, because it is a competitive online shooter.
Yep.
And, like, it would be so gross if you're, like, a 6-year-old kid and you want to, like, play a game, and then people are, like, just talking trash, you know?
Yeah, no, for
So-
sure. And yeah, you could definitely, both sides are passionate about the issue, for
Yeah.
sure. But at the end of the day, the option would be great.
Yeah.
What was the other part of his question? Day one buy?
Day one buy, that's always such a relative question, you know, because it's how much do you want it?
Yeah, like,
you know?
has it impressed you enough that you feel like it's worth it?
Yeah.
You know, so I would turn the question back on you, honestly.
Hey,
Doug,
cool,
and
Dash
answer
Rendar.
that. Yeah, we got
I like Dash
oh,
Rendar. That's
yeah.
a Star Wars. That's a Star
Shadows
Wars
of the
man.
Empire
Yeah.
reference. Yeah.
Let's see. Again, we got another question. Mihaly Miklos, MacMan8 says, "Is Splatoon a must-buy for Wii U owners, and is there enough to lure to lure new Wii U owners?"
I mean,
You,
I think
you gotta wait for the review.
yeah,
sort of.
Yeah,
but also,
let's,
you know,
let's do that. I
but
think
it's that really depends on who's buying. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. If you aren't driven to competitive multiplayer Squid Inc., then maybe this wouldn't get your attention. But if
Yeah.
it looks cool to you, then maybe you like it. You know.
I think too a platform purchase, like new Wii U owners, part of that question. I mean,
Yeah.
any platform purchase isn't just driven by one game; it should be driven by a library. Honestly, so if you're looking at Wii U's library and you're saying, "Oh, yeah, I want to play Smash, I want to play Mario Kart, I want to play Splatoon, I want to play, Mario Maker when it comes out later this year," like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then that's for you.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's definitely accrued a good library at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. Any other questions? Email. Excuse me,
just a lot of
tweet us.
questions about is there enough multiplayer there? Is there enough content there until the DLC? But like you said, there's going to be more DLC that's
Yeah. So
it's
they've
going to be trickling out. Just a little bit
Oh.
of little squirts, little splatters of DLC here and there.
Yeah, absolutely. Turf Wars is a really fun mode. Then Splat Zones is part of ranked mode, which will unlock after enough people reach level 10. So it's going to roll out post-launch. They've been really clear about that for the past month and a half, 2 months or so. And then the last Splatoon Direct, they said, hey, we have other modes coming. One called Rainmaker they talked about. One called Tower Control. And those seem cool, along with a bunch of maps that they weren't very specific about how many are coming, but at least 3 of the slides they showed, I think, had art, maybe 3 to 4 of them. So we'll see. I mean, they definitely have a rollout plan that they're sticking to. And you have to look at that and say, okay, is that worth day one, or do I wait till later, July or even August when the other stuff comes?
We got a question from Goofy Me who said, "What is that punching bag seen on multiplayer and single player?"
Punching bags.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Oh,
Is
that
it
there was
like
sort of a inflated bag that you saw in single player and in multiplayer. That's just cover, and you can't really paint it. Like there are certain things that you just can't put ink on.
Gotcha.
That's one of them. So if you're trying to like escape, getting fired at by the enemy, things like that, you can dive behind that and sort of hang out. And this is the painful part.
Yep, waiting around.
Yeah.
Christian Broussard says, "How much do you like the lore from the Sunken Scrolls?
Uh,
Are they the Sea Scrolls or the Sunken Scrolls?"
Yeah, Sunken Scrolls are in the game. They're sort of a collectible. The lore is very take it or leave it. Like, it's really up to you. There's some funny, playful references in there, but I can't get too specific just because it's
Sure.
part of the game itself.
Okay.
So we're struggling. James, I'm gonna actually check if our online's okay on this. So if you can keep it on us, that'd be cool. While I just jump out. Maybe we could even show people the first part of logging in and what
Do
that
some
looks
hand
like.
motions here.
Yeah, just start dancing.
This is exciting for you. Are you guys?
Are you not entertained?
Hold on, wait. I know babies love this. I'm not saying you guys are babies, but check this out.
Oh man, have you been playing Destiny? No, there's keys that you have to get. Are you trolling me right now?
Are you for
Yeah,
real?
there are keys that drop
literally-
in chests that you use to unlock this massive chest.
Did they literally they're literally like, "Here, Destiny players, have some jingly keys." Aren't they exciting for you?
It's been exciting for me. I'm not even gonna kid around with that.
Yeah. I got a puppy, and puppies are sort of like babies that bite you really hard
Yep.
sometimes.
Yep.
So
Yeah, your puppy was in the office.
Yeah.
On Friday, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a-
Gorgeous dog.
it's a fun little dog. Looks like a
Yes,
little bear.
yes, absolutely. I asked the question, where'd it come from? You're like, a bigger dog. I'm
Yeah.
like, thanks. Thanks a lot, Max.
Well, when two dogs love each other very much, you see.
Okay, so we fixed the issue. It was actually we were connected on Wi-Fi, not on the wired connection I have here. I didn't catch it earlier, so that's my bad.
Rookie mistake.
Sorry, James. Sorry, stream. We're back in this. and we're actually going to jump to sort of what the title screen looks like. And every time you boot up the game, there's this pair of sisters called the Squid Sisters that they introduce, or they tell you, hey, what multiplayer maps are available right now if you log in. It is an unskippable cutscene, which is a bit of a bummer, but at least you'll know going in, like, hey, this is, for example, Walleye Warehouse and Salt Spray Rig. I think it's another map. Stuff
and
like
I mean,
that.
based on the way that they're kind of rolling out content for this, it's not unheard of that they would tweak stuff like make that skippable.
Yeah, exactly. No, for sure. And that's something, again, take it or leave it. You're either going to speed through the text and move on, or you're going to give it a shot and just read what they have to say. As we emerge from the inky depths of the Wii menu screen. I'm trying. Wii menu screen.
Squid jokes.
All right, here's the title screen. This is the Squid Sisters.
Oh boy.
They're like pop divas. Hold on to your tentacles, Max.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Inkoculus news time.
This is slightly less weird than actual Japanese TV is.
Yep. Well, wait till you see what they do at the end of the program. I'm going to skip through.
Does one of them have to, like...
Well, one of them's very excited, and the other's just like, well, yeah.
Do you see that clip from the Japanese game show where the two ladies had to blow a dead cockroach through a tube at each other?
That was so gross.
That was a weird video.
That was nasty. This is the sign-off. Until next time, Max, stay fresh.
Wow. Yeah. All right. Stay fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Stay funky, stay alert.
All right, so now we're going to jump into the lobby. Everything should be fine now, thankfully. So we're going to jump in. Let's hope this goes well. Although, that just means why we lagged out. So hopefully there's still a population out there for us.
Here's a great question. Rich Lions, who has an awesome name if you take it literally.
Okay.
Just the king of the jungle. Just a bunch of rich lions in gold just eating big meat sandwiches. Anyway, he asks, what do you use for a wired controller on Wii U?
A wired controller or a wired connection?
A wired connection,
there we
sorry.
go. Wired connection. So there is a Wii USB adapter that will basically, you plug into Ethernet on one side, you plug in through USB on the other. It was a peripheral on Wii that they still sell for Wii U. You can find it on Amazon. I think ours was like $12, $10, maybe less than that.
So there you go.
Yeah, we didn't pay that much.
If you're having Wi-Fi problems.
Yeah, they recommended it for Smash Brothers during an April Direct, like last year.
The Karate Kid Kevin Welge says, "Is there a voting system to decide what map between the two to decide which is played?"
Nope. There is not. You get the two maps. It's picked at random, but it will alternate between maps. Sometimes you get the same map in a row. That might seem like a bummer for some, but I will say, as someone who's put in a lot of time on this game, I have not been upset by that. Like, every time a match starts, I'm just in the mode of, okay, I have to ink everything. Like, it's less about, like, if I know the map, I know what areas I should be controlling. But outside of that, it's just go. Like, we're off to the races. Paint as much as you can, as quickly as you can. Watch out for the other team. And that's pretty much it.
Dixie Rect has been asking nothing but really, really rude, offensive questions. But this one's not too bad. Does brown paint smell bad?
You answer that. I can't.
I think that a lot of paint smells bad. Actually, ink smells awful. Ink is like if you ever use like Higgins Design ink and you leave that stuff in a box for a while, that stuff smells really, really foul after a while.
There, you heard it here first.
There you go. So now you learn about what paint smells like.
Yep. And learning is half the battle.
Proper ventilation when you're doing your hobbies.
Did you paint a gold amiibo?
I did.
Can you make one of these gold? I think this one. That would look cool.
A gold.
Right? Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Bling them out.
There's no gold paint.
Okay. That's true. That'd be kind of cool. Gold versus silver paint. No, it wouldn't.
We could do like a little bit of silver on there and be like, oh no, the ocean is full of mercury in real life.
Yep.
Everything's gone horribly wrong.
For sure. Hey James, you can come on us for now. Thanks, man.
Senpai Inkling says, does only the floor count or every horizontal surface?
The floor is the most important. I think horizontal surfaces are more about climbing, which is important, right?
Or vertical surfaces.
Yeah, vertical surfaces. Sorry, I said horizontal. Vertical surfaces is more about painting them to climb to get a better position to shoot down. So if you have like a splat charger, that's perfect for you because then you can just rain down shots on, sort of rivals on the other side of the map. So that's really important, and some maps really play with that. Like I think the skate park, there's just this one like column in the middle that if you control it, you can control the middle of that map. And again, once you get familiar with the maps, you start to learn, well, these are the points I should be trying to hold, and basically hope that other people are doing that too, since you can't really communicate with them.
Okay. Oh, actually, he kind of clarified. He did mean other horizontal surfaces like roofs and kind of shelving racks and stuff.
Yeah.
Basically, anything you can walk on. Is that kind of the?
Oh yeah, no, that absolutely counts.
Okay.
Yeah, once we get into this game, which hopefully will be soon. Again, we're kind of bugging out here waiting for one.
Minecraft Star 16 says, "Is the blaster a real category?" You might know what that means more than I do. I don't know what that means.
Not really, no. But one of the later weapons that might be tied to it.
Okay.
Yep. Keep sending us questions. Hashtag IGN plays live. We're talking about Splatoon, which is available this week on Wii U. I believe it's Friday, May 29th in the U.S. Pretty cool game. You can read our review tomorrow on IGN. It's 7 a.m.
Here's a good question. Super Tyler, Lecross says, "What's the chill thing in the matchmaking?"
Great
lobby?
question. So,
is that a radio station?
That is actually that sort of the number that shows up there has to do with your wins. So if you're winning consistently in a row, you'll see +2, +3, +4. If you take that, once you've won enough games and you exit, you go over to the cat, you can cash that in. Yeah,
Okay.
and as you lose games, obviously,
Okay.
as the number increases, it will go down.
Huh. All right.
Yeah, it's a small little thing
So
that
it's
I
like
didn't catch on to
you
at
rapping
first.
good, you rapping awful.
Yep. Get your
Only
parappa
90s
reference.
kids will remember that one.
Oh yeah, kick punch. It's all in the mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike, P.S. Can I get a birthday shout out? I'm 30 today.
Wow.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday. Yes. So the question, will other amiibo work?
Yeah.
To my knowledge, no. We tried to scan one. It just wasn't compatible with the game.
You know who'd
was
be
the message we got.
like so totally perfect in this?
Who?
Is Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh yeah,
With
yeah.
Little...
Yep. No, it's definitely been said. Yeah. More questions.
Zach Moore says, "How do you categorize this game? Do you consider it close to Team Fortress 2?" I mean, you don't really need to categorize it, you know.
Yeah,
I think that categorizing and kind of having strictly designed genres is really bad for games because it kind of keeps people from mixing things up.
I agree. I think Splatoon has that whimsical sort of comedy of Team Fortress, but it's its own thing at the same time.
Yeah,
definitely owns it on its own. I don't really know if there's a direct comparison I've seen before. But I will say, like, and this gets pointed out in the review, territory control is such a hardcore concept when you think about it. Like, if you play Call of Duty, if you played other games where that's a mode, those objective modes are sort of like side fodder. Like, you usually just jump into, okay, I'm just going to do a mode where I can just get kills, rack up kills, and that's it. I like that Splatoon takes that notion and turns it into a mode that everyone can try and everybody can play. And I think that's really smart. What do you got? More questions?
Here's a good one. Joshua Goodell says, "What's the best way to play Splatoon with a bunch of my friends at my house?"
Best way to play with a bunch of friends? I mean, pass the controller, honestly, online when you're in Turf Wars. That's probably your best bet. Trying to think. Yeah, because either that or 1v1 mode can be fun. Okay. But I think that really is up to you, and we'll probably jump into that towards the end of the stream.
Is that where one person has the pro controller and the other person has that? Okay.
And the other has the gamepad, yeah. And the objective's different. You're shooting down balloons. Whoever shoots down more balloons than the other, but you can also splat the other the rival.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, one person's on the gamepad, like you said, one's on the TV. But I'd pass the controller and play Turf Wars. Turf Wars is kind of fun.
Let's see. Would you invest in the Amiibo 3-pack?
I'm actually out of the Amiibo race, so I'm gonna say no. Okay. I work on them for coverage. I will definitely pay attention and write about them for coverage or take them into account when we do our podcast and into the voice chat or things like that. But in terms of purchasing them, I'm kind of on the sidelines right now. Okay. I do think the design on these though are really good.
Yeah.
And for anyone who looked at the stand on Link in Smash Series 1 and was like, ugh, look how much better they're getting at it. In the Iwata ask for this game, they said the art director was really involved in the process. And this is just a really well-designed figure.
Yeah.
But my attitude right now is, I'm just kind of staying away from Amiibo for now.
That's a responsible decision.
Yep. Well, I bought Wave 1 through Wave 3 on Smash. Yeah.
That was a less responsible decision.
That was very much so a less responsible decision.
Let's see. Joe Burns, Joe Goldfish says, "Can you show us the ink brush? Is that the roller, you think? Or is
no, the ink brush is a new weapon that you're going to get later.
Okay.
So the ink brush, if you're referring to the one I'm thinking of, the one that it just looks like a paintbrush and not a roller brush, it sort of works the same way, but it leaves a narrow trail in its path, and it looks like you move faster.
Okay.
That brush isn't available yet. So we're going to try one more time to get in the game, and if not, we are going to jump into some 1v1.
Cool.
So let's hope. Cross fingers.
Noah Dashy007 says, can female/male Inklings cross-dress? Are their wardrobes 100% interchangeable?
I'd say the wardrobes are interchangeable. There is no... Girls don't wear dresses in Splatoon.
Yeah, they all
like,
kind of wearing
neutral.
shorts and jeans. And
yeah, shorts, jeans, everything feels very gender neutral but trendy. I mean, you can wear scuba gear. Like, it's just so random, right? Like, it follows its own art direction. There's sunglasses. There's headbands. You're not seeing, like, flowery hats or anything that commits to one side.
It's all pretty colorful and all pretty gender neutral. So.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's see. Zach Waffle says, what is the online customization about? Also, do you have online ranking/profile?
So online customization in terms of what you mean in terms of like the gear I'm wearing? The gear ties into abilities, so that's what that's about. In terms of online, what was the other part of that?
Online rankings. And
online ranking. So when you play ranked, if you look where it says level 8 and it has sort of coin meter underneath, when you unlock level 10, you're going to see a sub-level under that ranks you from C- to, I believe, A+. And that has to do with your skill. So when you play ranked battle, they try to match you with people of like skill level.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just matchmaking, basically.
Yep, pretty much.
Macy Booth says, what is the game you're playing right now basically about? How does it work? What's the main purpose? Well, we're waiting for other players to join in. That is one of the downsides of playing a game pre-launch when there's a multiplayer component. This really shouldn't be reflective of Splatoon when it's out in the wild, because it's going to be a lot easier to get into a game.
Yeah, and it
would be utterly baffling if it was somehow more difficult to get into a game when people were actually able to go out and buy the game. So
absolutely,
you know.
Yeah, I will say, yeah, I completely agree with you. And if you are looking for more multiplayer footage, we do have that on IGN. We've gotten a bunch of games in, and we have a lot of clips that you can check out and sort of get a look at how multiplayer goes for yourself. But it is basically Turf Wars is territory control. You are trying to outpaint the other team and control most of the map, which hopefully we will get to, but we are not. So we're going to go over to...
All right.
I'm going to grab that. I'm going to tell you when.
Quick little 1v1?
Yeah, quick little 1v1.
Right.
Sadly, we didn't get to get an online game in.
This is going to be messy.
Which is a bummer. All right. This is going to be messy. So you're going to be on the TV. I'm going to be playing off the gamepad.
And
I will try not to look.
Wrap up in about 8 minutes. This had to be a short stream because the squids are very sensitive.
Yep. All right. So you're going to press power on your controller.
But that's a good start.
Yep. All right. So that's on. Now press the L and ZR. Should I play looking over here? No. We'll be fine. I won't look. All right. So pick a weapon of choice. I would recommend Splatter Shot.
Ooh, what's this one?
52-gallon or the Aerospray MG.
Am I allowed to play with this one here? The blaster?
You could. Yeah. That's
I'm kind of
cool.
curious about that.
I'm going to use the same gun you use just so we're on an even keel. That cool?
You've been playing the game for review. We're not going to be on an even keel either way.
This is true. All right. Pick a map. Any map. 1 through 5. What do you got?
Arowana.
Arowana Mall? All right. Marty made the same mistake. So let's do it.
All right.
All right. Again, tweet questions at us. Or don't tweet now, actually. Max is a little busy. So I'm on the gamepad. See where that column of light is?
Yeah.
That is going to be where some balloons are going to show up, and you're going to try and basically shoot more balloons than I do. So this is Max's second time playing this game.
All right, there we
so
go.
please forgive him.
This is a half-pipe level.
It is. And I am going to introduce Max to his maker before I start shooting.
Life is pain.
Yeah, life is pain. All right, and that's really mean, so I'll try not to do that too often. So as you can see, oh, nice, you got one. All right, so as you can see, okay, so the column has now moved. So Max, if you see a wooden crate, shoot it and grab what's inside, all right?
I've played video games before. I know how this works.
Oh, okay. Just making sure, man, because it's easy to run by them. Marty figured out to start grabbing that, and he started dominating.
Oh, boy. Ah, what? That doesn't make any sense to me.
What?
I fell in water and died? I'm a squid.
Yep, that happens. All right, and I can't paint any of these surfaces, so I can't get up there. I got to get on this ramp.
Oh, boy. Oh, and you can kind of... I regret the blaster.
Oh, the balloons are up.
What is this music? Ah! More fall damage, yeah.
Okay.
Apparently I'm water base. All right.
All right, I popped all the balloons here. We're gonna trade controllers when we do this one more time, and I'll turn off motion, so I'll run on TV.
Yeah, this is I'm doing the horrible. I'm again. Yeah, I picked a bad level.
Yeah. Here, no problem. You want to try this one?
Yeah,
But watch
swap
out
it
for the
out.
motion. Yeah, let's
Sure.
swap. All right. So,
This should be. This is a little bit.
yep. And I'm not gonna have motion, so I'm gonna be flailing my arms because I'm so used to using motion. But that's okay. We're on even keel now, at least. I'll come around. So that's me. Max is running around. Trying to watch out for Max. Oh no!
Wow.
All right, got him. And we're gonna move on. So you definitely want to control higher surfaces. I don't think I can make that jump. The column's over by you. Do you see it?
Yep.
Yep. So you want to go for that.
Trying to get up the thing. Oh,
There you
hello.
go. There you go. Did you say get the thing?
Get the thing.
Oh God.
Haven't you ever
talking
played
to Altano?
a game before?
Yeah.
Get the thing.
There's a special history with that and me. So I'll leave it at that.
I think that should be a game, honestly. Get the thing.
Oh really? Like an indie game? Oh no. Oh, nice work. All right. Keep popping balloons. Keep popping balloons.
Where are the balloons?
Oh, they're gone. Well, that was quick.
Thanks for putting all this paint on the ground over here for me.
Yep, that was me showing my affection. All right, I'm gonna get this. Oh, the balloons are up.
Where are you? Where are the balloons?
So this is offline 1v1 mode. I'm playing against Max. I'm on the TV. Max is somewhere. All right, go to the column. It actually moved. Trying to be nice to Max. I'm the reviewer on this game, so clearly there was going to be one winner. But Max is a trooper, man. And I'm going to put him out of his misery. No, but seriously, what do you think so far? Like, this is your first like big hands-on day with Splatoon. Have you? What's your takeaway so far?
It's definitely a game that takes some practice. You know,
Yeah.
I could see how it would be really, really fun. Woo!
Yeah, that was a special ability I got. We could switch places. You were saying?
Yeah, it's super cute. I really like the kind of art direction and stuff, and just it's a really cool looking video game.
Yep.
I'm just kind of like I'm a little bit turned off by the motion controls, and I think that it relying as much as it does on multiplayer on a on a system that isn't really known for having a very huge. It's also been kind of a lack of good multiplayer games, but I think that this is like a party game would have been really awesome.
Yep. So I am going to head on over here. Yeah, and you could definitely turn motion off. I'm just someone who kind of gravitated towards it. But I do feel like a lot of the game is designed around the idea. Oh wow, are you in front?
Yeah,
no,
the motion
by
is.
6.
Where are you?
Oof. I gotta get out of here. All right, moving up. Go ahead, Max. Move up. Let's see what happens. All right, we're winding down on 2 minutes, folks. We are playing Splatoon 1v1 mode. Sadly, we had some technical issues. We weren't able to get you some multiplayer. We had less technical issue and lack of players online, which is a bummer. All right, so during the last round, every balloon is worth 2 points.
Game.
28-14.
I'm pretty good at the game considering that I'm bad at it, but
All right, let me take over for that one.
All right.
All right, you're brave though, brave man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Props.
Yeah.
All right, any other questions coming in? Last round.
Tweet Sakana said you read my question about investing in the Amiibo 3-pack for Splatoon, but you never read my name.
Okay, well now we did.
Okay, Tweet Sakana. There we said your name.
Hi.
Andrew Gonzalez says, Bugman83 says, I actually like the motion controls for Splatoon. I used the analog sticks and felt they were too slow. I can actually kind of feel that. Like that's
why I use them.
Yeah. It's a little bit odd, It's sort of it's a similar thing. They had a similar feature on the Tanuki on the Uncharted for Vita.
Yep.
Like and it was just kind of showing off like that was a Vita launch title. It was like
Yeah,
they're trying to show
yeah.
off the motion controls for this, and I just thought it was kind of like if you're using both at the same time, you sort of forget that the other one is there.
Yeah, no, it definitely takes some getting used to. I use it because it is a faster way to aim. Like I could just quickly shift my hands. But that said, I make Marty Sleva, fellow editor, kind of barf whenever I do that.
Marty's a big weenie though. The only reason I could bring my puppy to come visit is because Marty wasn't there because he has allergies.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you guys all for tuning in so much. This is a lot of fun. This is a really cute, just happy game. And you can all check out Jose's review tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock Pacific time. Is that right?
Yep, that's
correct.
correct.
Look at that. You can become an amiibo right over there. Just hop in the box.
Oh, let's do it. Let me in.
How does that work? I don't know how that works. We don't know how that works. Anyway, yeah, for your Splatoon coverage, keep it right here on IGN. I'm Max Scoville. This is Jose Otero. Take it easy, guys.
Yep. Thanks for watching.
Hey, everybody. Max Scoville here for IGN. With me, Jose Otero.
What's going on, Max?
What are we playing right now?
We are playing Splatoon.
Splatoon.
Yes, it's a third-person action game shooter from Nintendo. Comes out May 29th in North America. I think May 28th, Japan and Australia. And we're gonna jump into single-player mode to start.
Cool. We've got a kind of a tight schedule here. We can only stream for an hour. Is that right?
That's right. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
So pay attention, kids, because you're about to learn a lot about squids.
That's right. All right, so let's jump into the third area. So this is the hub world for this is Octo Valley, and this is where the single player happens. You can actually just shoot whenever you feel like it. And there's, as you can see, we're just spreading our color everywhere.
Okay.
So I'm just going to jump into this level to kick us off. So this is Rise of the Octocoppers.
Okay. Now, if you guys are watching at home and you have any questions or stuff you want to see, there's only a certain amount we can show you, but if you have questions or requests or cool squid trivia, let us know. Just hop on Twitter and use the hashtag IGNPlaysLive, and we will keep an eye out for it.
Yep. So right now we're just going through single player, and you can actually mess around with these guys a lot.
So
like you saw, he saw me in Metal Gear fashion, and that X just means I can hit him from here. So when I pop up, he's gone. So you can have a lot of fun with sort of taunting the enemies, which is